coaching, and I don't know if you guys know that I do coach. I do coach anybody that's on either my website that wants to join my coaching there or on my Patreon, which I talk to you a lot about. Patreon is where I put my exclusive content. And Patreon is another place that you could get coaching. And you can call me up and we can talk for 15 minutes. And it really helps a lot of people just to talk to someone, get a second opinion. And if you like what I talk about here on YouTube, you can imagine how you can get more personal opinions and advice and suggestions when you go to my YouTube. But anyway, the reason I thought about this is because one of my patrons had said that he has a problem with trust issues and he doesn't really trust the women that he's been with. And I started thinking about trust, and I think it is a scary thing to trust people. And if you think about your inner circle of friends, there's little circles, and you put like maybe 5 people in your inner circle, and then you have like that medium circle where you have more of acquaintances, and then you have your outer circle with people that you don't know that well at all. So you don't want to trust that outer circle right away because you don't know who these people are. And by the way, so if you're just joining, and I thank you for there's 3 people now on Facebook. If you're just joining, make sure to give a thumbs up and likes and all that kind of stuff, whatever platform you're watching this on. And I'm not ignoring the Facebook people by any means, but I'm going to YouTube because of the fact that there's a lot of people on YouTube right now. So if you have questions on Facebook, Brett, go ahead and ask them. And if you are on YouTube, I'm going to start going through these questions with you guys as well. All right, so Koki, hiring prostitutes, yay or nay? Oh, thank you for all those likes. Okay, so hiring prostitutes, yay or nay? I guess I'd ask why you need to hire a prostitute when there's probably a lot of women out there who would love to be with you without having to be paid to be with you. So I would say you have to think about why you want to go to hire someone over just finding a decent woman to be with. I have no problem with it if you do it, but I'm just saying, to me, I'd rather have you take the first step and try to find somebody that wants to be with you for you and not your money. So Fozzie, you're still trying to figure out if I've been with a black guy, and obviously I don't feel like answering that question because it's kind of a personal question to see who I've been with. David, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Ray, either it's a compliment on shoes or clothes. Make the person realize you notice more than their body. Agreed. Thank you. Hi, William. How are you? Yeah, David, you have trust issues as well. How many people here have trust issues? By the way, make sure that you're liking this video so that YouTube knows that I'm on live and other people can join us. Hey, Zach, and Heidi, Ray, and the Amazing World. What type of videos do you upload on YouTube? Amazing World, I upload, most of these are live videos, but I've uploaded 400 something videos about dating, sex, cougars, relationships. I've interviewed people about all topics, basically anything in life. Thank you, Fowler, for noticing my blue dress. Okay, so back to the trust issues. Hi, Alpha, what's up with you? Yeah, I was thinking about, why do you think you have trust issues? And if you feel like you have someone has hurt you in the past, what can you do to make sure that you don't take any of that personally? Because that's part of the 4 agreements, which I talked about with you. And the 4 agreements I firmly believe in, and if you haven't gone back and listened to any of my other talks, it's by this guy named Don Miguel Ruiz. Talks about the 4 ingredients the 4 agreements that you should have. And the first one is to be impeccable to your word. And we all know what that means. That means keep to your word and make sure that you follow through with things that you say you're going to do. Super important. And we got more people on Facebook. Hi, Facebook people again. Okay, so make sure that you're impeccable to your word. Number 2 is don't take anything personally. Number 3 is don't assume anything. And number 4 is try your best. So the trust thing comes into the don't take anything personally. I would say that if you've been burned by somebody, assume that they're a bad person and not that you are. So if you trusted someone and you told them something or you did something and they betrayed your trust, most likely it's their issue and not yours. So try to let the past go and try to move on forward by just being positive. And I'm not saying that you should trust everybody by any means. And I think that that little circle thing that I was telling you about is really important. For me, I trust very, very few people with my inner circle stuff. Brett, you got no issues, no trust issues there? I only trust Brett and everybody else. No. So when it comes to trust issues, I only trust that little inner circle. And then you can go outer. But before you let somebody in, make sure you know them really, really well. So starting from here, get rid of all your trust issues by saying, I'm only going to trust people that I truly believe are impeccable to their word. Okay, the people that follow through with things. And if you can trust 5 people, that's a lot. So, but at the same time, it shouldn't affect you going forward in relationships. It just means that you should be careful and just watch out. I'm going to start saying hi to people who I've missed so far, David and Zach and Low-Key, how are you? Your birthday's tomorrow. Low-Key, happy birthday, yay! Hi, MILF Man. When it comes to marriage, I trust no woman. Okay, why is that, MILF Man? Why do you not trust? Brett says, I used to too have trust issues, but they were reflected on myself. Oh, that's interesting. And David doesn't trust anyone. So a lot of you guys are very, very concerned about trust because David said, yes, someone has hurt me in the past and I'm having a hard time trusting women. So that's why I think any of you guys that want to go out and do private coaching with me, it would be a really good idea. Brett from Facebook is saying that once he committed himself to a woman, a wonderful girl who I happen to know, he had no more trust issues. And I would say that, Brett, you got, even if you only tell that one person, I mean, there's people in your life that you're going to have to trust with some things. And so you just got to choose super wisely as to who those are going to be. And some people, like Ray saying, have a problem trusting themselves, LOL. And that is true, but that goes back to number 1, be impeccable to your word. So you should be able to trust yourself if you follow through and do things that you feel are the right things to do. Be respectful, think about your consequences, all that kind of stuff. Hi, Bonker. I also know basic English from school and I'm learning BSL. Okay, negative thinking causes that. Yeah, Ray, I agree. Okay, so we want to really think about, remember the positive aura that you give out to the world. It's super important. Let the world know that you're a good person, that you're a positive person, and you'll find that that's going to attract more quality people in your life. Like, I feel like the people that are on here for a reason, that you have found me because you find that I'm a trustworthy person, that I'm not going to hurt you and I'm not going to betray you and I'm not going to do anything that's not impeccable to my word, like they say. So William on Facebook says, so agree. Mothers like to keep boys' cubs away from getting the best confident in asking a woman out, at least asking a cougar out for a drink or whatever. Are you asking a question about what your mother would say about you dating an older woman? I would think that she would be respectful to you and what your decisions are in your life. And if you feel that being with an older person and the person is important to you, there's nothing that your mother should say against that. She should respect you as a human being. Because I think if you're watching this channel, you should be at least 18 and you're an adult. And you should be able to do what you want. Let's go back to YouTube. Oh shoot, I forgot to turn this off. Hold on. Okay, let's see. All right. If you do divorce, which is likely to happen because just look at the percentage, these women take you for everything and you are worth even everything you are worth, even if they did not help you get it. So MILF Men, you definitely have some hostility towards women. And I want you to think about what you can do to get all that negative anger and hostile thought away from you, because it's going to show. And it's almost like a it just keeps, it's like a snowball. The more that you feel negative towards women, the more they're going to treat you negatively. And it just keeps adding and you're going in circles. You got to stop. As Mr. Pirate Brain says, stop and think about it. Okay? Good morning. Hey, Joe, how are you? And Bryson, you trust me? And why? Why do you trust me, Bryson? Because, you have to have confidence in yourself to know and trust people that you feel are the right people. And if you've been burned, assume that you just learn from that. What were the mistakes that you made? Because there's two parts to this. It's not just one way or the other. Koki says dating women older than your mom is a taboo, except it isn't. Yeah, there's no taboos except for like some weird, like, incestual and pedophilia taboos. But other than that, there shouldn't be any taboos, okay? Just do what your heart says you should do and don't worry about what other people say. Okay, so back to Bonker. You can explain. Mr. Pirate says you can't be bad at the booty if you want it. You can't be bad at the booty if you want it. Right. I think you're trying to say you can't, if you want to be with a woman, you can't be negative about them. Is that what you're trying to say, Mr. Pirate Brain? Okay. So Bonker, please explain. And MILFman, I really want to talk to you because I know that the percentage of people that get divorced is high, but that doesn't mean that you'd be in that percentage. You could also be in the lower percentage of the people that have a good relationship because they're out there. What you want, you can get. In other words, if you want a really good, I'll give you an example. So I know a guy that I was working with, and he was a videographer, a nighttime videographer. And he came into work, and he was divorced, and he came into work and he said to me, I want to find a woman who is going to be over 40, because at the time he was over 40. I don't want her to have any children. I want her to be beautiful. I want her to have a great personality. I want her to have the same kind of hours and work as I do. I want her to he had a whole list of things that he wanted from this woman. And I'm like thinking to myself, how is he going to get this perfect person for him? But literally, like about a month later, he came in and said he met this a photographer who worked the same kind of hours and the same kind of party that he works. And he fell in love with her, and they've been married for like 15 years. And she was exactly what he wanted. She didn't have kids. She didn't want kids because he already had his kids, I guess. And every single thing that was on that list, he was able to achieve. So if you envision it and you believe in it and you really want to go after it, be positive and think that you can get it. And don't think negatively about, well, there's a huge divorce rate and, that women are just going to take you for granted, because there are plenty of women out there that want the same things that you want. Okay. Enough about that. It's not that I don't trust women. It's just that when you get married, they have a majority of power, power of the power. MILFman. Okay, so let's get back to that again. Being with a woman does not mean you need to marry her. And I think, again, this is just my opinion. Everyone has different opinions. But, if there's a financial tie to you and there's a piece of paper there and that's why they're staying with you, that's a bad reason to stay with. So maybe you can be with someone and just not get married, okay? Mr. Pirate Brain agrees with this. I feel comfortable talking to you, and I feel like you're a life coach. Thank you, Bryson. I feel comfortable talking to you, too, and I appreciate that. Scientific investigations, we know the real cause behind it all. What is the real cause? Hi, Veba. What percent, roughly, of older women, 40, 50-year-old, in your opinion, are totally into mid-20s, guys? I get that question a lot, and I don't know the percentage. I don't think it matters. All you need is one. So, again, there's a place for it because, especially in the 40s, maybe a woman wants someone that, she can just have a good time with and not have any kind of expectations in the future that you're going to end up getting married. So maybe she's going to think this is a good relationship for you. So it can work. I know it did for me. David Bowman, I'm 46, I don't have kids, plus I'm too old to start a family. So David, for you, you might be able to find a woman that wants the same things you do. Loki said, stop, look, listen to your heart, hear what's saying, like in the stylistics. I agree with you, Loki. Stop and look and listen to your heart and hear what it's saying. Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Pirate Brain says all women are different. Some are bad and some are good. My ex-wife got more than half of when we got divorced, but she supported me in everything. And sometimes you have to think what is fair. Exactly. And every situation is different. And there's reasons that in divorce court that women get what they get, because if they have supported you throughout that and they took care of your family and they took care of you and they gave up and sacrificed a lot of their own career to be with you, maybe that's why they get more of your money than prior to that. Because you have to think about why would the courts make that fair? So I'm not here to say women should get more than blah 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 for their divorce. I'm just saying, get away from thinking about the negative stuff that's happened. And that is another reason I think older women like younger guys, is because of the fact that there are older men who have anger towards women because they've lost a lot of money and they're divorced, or the way they thought of it is. Again, let's think of it as you had X amount of years with this person. You probably did have good times. You probably always in some place in your heart know that you had some love for each other. So let that go. Think of it as that you did a good thing and move on and try to find somebody new that can give you what you want. And don't necessarily sign over your money. You don't need to get married again. You don't need to hand over a check to somebody because you signed something on a piece of paper. So just be careful. Think about the consequences before you do that. But that does not mean you can't get into a relationship with someone. There's two different things that we're talking about: a legal thing and we're talking about an emotional thing. Koki is saying something about 60 plus. Mr. Pyrobrain, you're still friends. Awesome. Koki, 60 plus MILFs have ruined my perception on age gap sex boundaries. Ruined in a good way or a bad way? Milfman, you don't have a problem committing. I just don't want to get married. There you go. Hi, Jonas. Joe says, I'm a positive leader, full of positive energy. I hope so. I try to be positive. I think that, I've had some negative stuff happen in my life, some really scary, negative, horrible things that have happened in my life, things that, it just, nobody says life is going to be like perfect, because it's not going to be. You are going to have serious health and death and all that kind of shit happening to you. But what you've got to do is assume that you have to move forward. So I'm going to take a little 2-minute break here and tell you about Promesent, because Promesent is for those guys that can't last, that want to last longer in bed. And I'm going to be offering, if you join my newsletter, which is free, and it also gives you like an email from me every Tuesday, and it also gives you a free download on how to introduce yourself to an attractive person. But this coming week and the next several weeks, I'll be giving away free Promesent, which is a really good deal. I'm just going to pick a winner from whoever joined my newsletter. And how you join is by going to my website, which I'm going to put right here, which basically is my name, KarenLeePotter.com. And if you're watching this later, and you want to support me, make sure that you give me a thumbs up on both Facebook and YouTube. Jonas is saying, I'm pretty young myself, LOL, just here for some education. I'm glad to hear that. David says, I want to commit to a woman, but I don't want to get married or have children. So all of you guys that are ready to commit, but you don't want to have the financial ties or the children and everything else, that can happen. There are plenty of women in that situation who also do not want to have any kind of commitments, and it's fine. Go for it. Bonker is saying, get ready for summer. Jonas is saying, I'm pretty young myself, just here for some education. So Jonas, I'm going to ask the older guys on this stream to tell me, if you could go back 10 years, older men, what would you tell people like Jonas and the younger guys here about women and trust issues and advice that you would like to give them? I'd like to hear from those of you who've already been in relationships and are currently divorced and looking for women, or whatever you're in. Mr. Piperbrand says, we didn't go to court. I agreed she was 15 years older. I had more of a working life left. There you go. So there was a reason for that. Bryson's saying, most of the time I was done wrong by women, girls, was when I was a kid, including the humiliation I suffered over serious offenses. That's why I have trouble trusting women. So back to what we were saying, it's really important that you start with a clean slate today. So throw all that stuff in the past away. Start today with some of the stuff that we've been talking about today and on every one of these live streams. Start today and get rid of all the past negativity and start with a positive approach from here on out. Does that sound good, Bryson? Because you and I have been talking for a while about this. So I know that trust is scary, but trust really builds a relationship. And so just be involved, just be careful who you're getting involved with, but find somebody that you feel is trustworthy. That's why I think yesterday someone on my Patreon page asked me why I said stop going for the 10s. Don't look for like that perfect woman out there, because there is no perfect person out there. And when you set yourself up looking for that perfect person that's a 10 out of 10, you're going to be disappointed because she's going to fall off that pedestal. So I think it's really important that you go ahead and just think about go for the ones that are confident, but that don't necessarily have the perfect looks, because sometimes those people never developed a personality anyway. David says he feels the same way as Bryson, that you have the same problem, bro. So what are David and Bryson going to do about their lack of trust for women? Does anybody have any suggestions on Facebook? Koki's saying to be a 10. Hi, Dr. Ken Hurt from Russia. Mr. Pirate Brain says, I think we attract what we focus on. So every time you think about gold diggers, that's what you attract. Probably true. So if you're looking for the arm candy and then you get surprised that this woman is using you for money, I mean, you're attracting people that you're looking for. You're looking for the person that wants to use you for money. So don't look for that person. So Big Sap, Karen, how do you avoid women who play games, and why do women give their number out when they aren't interested? You know, Big Sap, I've been guilty of that. Sometimes people give their number out because you put them on the spot. And I mean, I've had guys like say, oh, give me your phone, I'm going to put my number in, you know, or give me your number right now, I'm going to call you. And it just makes you feel like you can't, you're kind of stuck. So unfortunately, I think women just kind of like don't want to hurt your feelings, so they do that. But, and also Big Sap, I think a lot of the younger women play a lot more games because they feel like they have to. That's just a part of their immaturity and that they're young, and they think that's the way to attract or keep a guy. And I 100% disagree with all that game playing. I think that if you're confident, you don't need to play any of the games. You can just be yourself. That's just me. Here you go. Koki said, be the best version of yourself that you can. Exactly. Jonas, Karen, it's funny you speak about older women because I'm attracted to older women myself, but for some reason people see that as wrong direction for me. Older women are nicer to me than women my age. Jonas, don't let anybody tell you what to do. It's super important that you just go with what your inner gut tells you. I know it's hard because you get these guys that are going to say, what are you going out with that old broad for? And I know that that's an issue, but older women can definitely give you the confidence that you need. A lot of times it's good to have that older woman in your life just for the time period that you need to maybe get over the person that burned you, or maybe just find someone who could teach you about, you know, talking dirty in bed, or whatever it is that she wants to teach you sexually. It's also good to have that person just so that you can find, you know, that person's going to make you feel really good about yourself. I know that when I was with younger guys, they were like, I wish I could find a younger girl that was like you, Karen. So that's a good thing to have in your life. And if you have older women that are attracted to you, that you want to spend some time with, just try to filter out all those naysayers. Just get rid of those people, because those people are not going to be helpful to you. All the people that judge you are not good to have in your life, and you need to get rid of them. I mean, if you're family, you can't get rid of them, but you don't need to tell them everything either. Let's see. Zoki, what is the youngest age that you have been? I get that question a lot, Zoki, and I think it's a weird question to ask because obviously I've been 18 and I was with 18-year-olds, okay? So, and I've been 40 and I've been with 20-something-year-olds. So I don't think that that's a question that needs to be answered right now. It's kind of a silly question, but whatever. Watch the movie Don Juan. No matter the age, there are people who make you feel good. Right, Koki, exactly what I was thinking. So I'm getting to the end of our live stream today, and I thank you all on Facebook for joining me, and I thank you all on YouTube for joining me. And if there's any question that you want answered, and if there's anything that you'd like to say that you didn't get a chance to say here, please put it in the comment section below. The comment section is really important on YouTube for their algorithms to see how many people are interacting with me. And if you like what I'm doing and you want me to keep doing it, I need to have you guys give the thumbs up here, the big likes, and make sure to comment below. comment on what you liked and what you'd like to see discussed, etc. And of course, because I told you before about YouTube and the issues that YouTube has about me giving out, sexual content, it's important that you join me on my Patreon page. And my Patreon page is in the description box here, but what it does, for as little as $1 a month, you could become a patron and get private videos and private photos of me and be able to interact and message me. And it's a much better way to get personal attention, especially if you go into the higher level tiers. You get free phone sessions with me and ways to get personalized photos, etc. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. Today I'm going to give a daily vlog, and it's only going to be on my Patreon channel. And it's, hint, hint, I'm going to probably see one of my friends who's a porn star. So if you're going to join Patreon, today's a good day to join it. And thank you all on Facebook for watching me. I'm going to say goodbye now. And my YouTubers, this is the last chance. Oops. And right now and this is it. Let's see. Bryson, this is it for you. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think we got everybody here. Again, thank you all for watching. I love you. I appreciate the support. And if you're watching this later on, don't forget to give those likes and join my Patreon page. And I will see you tomorrow, which is 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you put those notifications on and subscribe here, you will be able to get notified when I'm on, so you don't miss the next live stream. If you enjoyed this, make sure to let everybody know about it by sharing it, etc. I've got to go. I see that people are joining me now, but I'm about to end. Okay? I love you all. Bye-bye.